Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches: Chicago White Sox vs Detroit Tigers, Baltimore Orioles vs Tampa Bay Rays, and Colorado Rockies vs Cincinnati Reds, which are happening on Friday, June 11, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. It was not too long ago that the Padres were sitting in first place in the NL West, partially because they were phenomenal in the month of May, going 19-9 over 28 contests last month. If only May were longer. With their most recent loss to Chicago Wednesday afternoon, San Diego is now 27-17 and has fallen into third place in the NL West, where they're 2.5 games back of first place San Francisco. A good reason for their drop in the standings is their 3-6 June record so far. Things won't get any easier on the road against a Mets team that makes a living putting opponents in defensive jail. That'll be even more of a case with the team's ace, Jacob deGrom, slated to start at pitcher. He was one of the primary culprits behind the goose egg for the Padres in the Game 3 meeting last weekend. So runs are going to be hard to come by on Friday night. The goal for the Padres should be making it equally as difficult for the Mets to score to give their team a fighting edge down the stretch. Say what you want about their recent outings, but the Padres still have the best bullpen in the league right now. Until another team in the NL East can start to put together a winning streak to put some heat on the Mets, New York doesn't have to concern itself with anyone catching them. At 30-24, they're 3.5 games up on Philadelphia, 4 up on Atlanta, and 7 up on both Miami and Washington, all of which are currently below .500. The Mets have played good lately, winning 3 of their last 4 games, but their rise to first place was due in large part to their 17-9 record in May. Even for a player as great as deGrom, the weight on his shoulders must be unbearable considering the team's offensive pitfalls. It must feel like jam or bust some nights for the Mets. The team has the 4th worst run scoring average with a .694 OPS. My betting advice for that game is to pick New York Mets, -169. Atlanta cruised along for 8 innings with a lead but gave up a walk-off 2-run homer in the 9th to end up with a loss. The Braves entered Thursday second in the NL East race, 3.5 games behind the Mets for the top spot in the division race. Atlanta got 3 hits each from Ozzie Albies and William Contreras, RBI, while the rest of the team went a combined 2 for 25. Tucker Davidson was brilliant, throwing 6 scoreless frames, allowing 4 hits with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. He had ended up with a no decision. Will Smith, 1-5, took the loss as he allowed 2 runs on 1 hit with 1 walk and 1 strikeout in 2/3 of an inning of work. Atlanta is averaging 4.86 runs per game. Their .237 batting average is 14th in the league. Their .317 on base percentage is 9th, while their .432 slugging percentage is 4th. Alcantara has pitched well this season but has little to show for it thanks to the Marlins' inability to consistently generate offense. That's likely to be a problem for him again here. Atlanta has the ability to score runs with a fairly deep lineup, especially with the way Austin Riley has hit over the last 6 or 7 weeks. Morton has won his last 3 starts and continues to provide solid outings despite his advanced age for the Braves. This comes down to which lineup you can trust more, and that's clearly not Miami. Austin Riley leads Atlanta with a .306 batting average, while Ronald Acuna Jr. leads the team with 18 home runs and 38 RBI. Atlanta's pitching hasn't been as good as the team's offense. Opponents have a .244 batting average against the Braves, which is 18th in the league. Their 4.36 ERA is 20th, while their 1.33 WHIP is 19th. The Marlins are struggling at the moment and they've lost 10 of their last 12 games. Despite their slump, they are only 7.5 games behind New York in the NL East standings and will try to make up some ground with a win over the Braves. Charlie Morton is on the bump for his 13th start of the season for the Braves in this contest. He comes in 5-2 with a 4.21 ERA, a 1.258 WHIP, 22 walks, and 72 strikeouts over 62 innings of work this season. Morton comes in off a win in his last start, which came against the Dodgers at home Saturday. He threw 5 innings, allowing 4 runs to earned on 4 hits with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts in a game the Braves won 6-4. In his last 3 starts, he is 3-0 with a 3.18 ERA, a 1.18 WHIP, 6 walks and 20 strikeouts over 17 innings of action. Morton makes his 15th career start against the Marlins in this contest. He comes in 7-4 with a 4.04 ERA, a 1.263 WHIP, 26 walks and 70 strikeouts over 82.1 innings of work. Morton is 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA, a 1.20 WHIP, 3 walks and 20 strikeouts over 23.1 innings in 4 career starts at Lone Depot Park. My betting advice for that game is to pick Atlanta Braves. The Astros made a statement over the past 10 days, winning 5 of 7 matchups against a very good Red Sox team, but lost Thursday's series finale in a wild slugfest that featured 6 lead changes. Yuli Gurriel got the Astros off to a good start with a solo shot in the second, with Jose Altuve later going deep and Kyle Tucker adding a bases-clearing double in the 5th, yet Boston would rally each time and take control with a 5-run 6th inning. Houston has established itself as having one of the deepest offenses in baseball, which has only become stronger and stronger as players have returned from the EL. Yuli Gurriel has been the biggest surprise though, leading the team in 4 of 5 major offensive categories. He leads in batting average, .335, RBI, 43, OBP, .406, and hits, 69, while Carlos Correa and Kyle Tucker are tied for the lead in home runs, with 11. Some of the more traditional big names on the roster, like Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman, are starting to come into their own too, with Altuve hitting .293 with 10 home runs, and Bregman hitting .295. Over the last week, Gurriel is hitting an absurd .609, while Correa has 3 home runs, and Altuve has added 2 of his own, as they very quickly become the team that feared opponents the last few seasons. According to MLB.com, Jose Urquidy will get the start for the Astros on Friday night to set the tone against the Twins. Urquidy comes in at 4-3 with a 3.76 ERA, but has been better than his record indicates for much of the year so far. He hasn't missed a beat since going 1-1 with a 2.73 ERA in 5 starts last year, and has had much better control of his command while improving his strikeout rate as well. Urquidy is coming off a brutal last start though, allowing 6 runs in only 4.1 innings in his last start, and will need to revert back to his mid-April form to find the win on the road. He did make 1 appearance against the Twins in last year's postseason though, allowing only a run and 2 hits in 4.1 innings, and should have some confidence from that appearance. The Twins are hoping for any sort of bright spot in what has been an awful season, so Thursday's rally against Aroldis Chapman and the nemesis Yankees was a welcome development. Nelson Cruz was the hero as he kept Minnesota in the game with a sacrifice fly and RBI double through the first 4 innings, and walked it off on a 2-run homer after Josh Donaldson tied the game on a 2-run homer 2 batters earlier. The Twins are in a difficult place given their best overall player in Buxton, and best power hitting in Cruz. Both are likely out for this series. Cruz leads the team with a .279 batting average and an OBP of .353 to go along with 50 hits, while Buxton was hitting .370 with 9 home runs in just 92 at-bats. My betting advice for that game is to pick Astros. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.